What's something a family member expected you to do that actually changed your life? My little sister demanded I teach my study partner how to braid hair because she was convinced we were secretly in love. Emily was 8 and had this weird obsession with my chemistry study partner Conrad. Every Tuesday and Thursday when he'd come over, she'd magically appear with some urgent 8-year-old business. Can I show you my rock collection? Do you want to see me do a cartwheel? Did you know I lost a tooth yesterday? Conrad was incredibly patient with her, always stopping whatever we were doing to admire her latest drawing or listen to her explain why unicorns were scientifically possible. I kept apologizing, but he'd just laugh and say she reminded him of his little cousins back home. He actually seemed to enjoy her interruptions, which made me like him even more. One Thursday, Emily cornered me in the kitchen while Conrad was in the bathroom. "You need to teach Conrad how to braid hair," she whispered urgently. "Why would I do that, Em?" "Because when you guys get married and have daughters, he'll need to know how to do their hair for school. It's basic dad requirements." I nearly choked on my water. "We're not getting married, we're just study partners?" She rolled her eyes. "He looks at you funny when you're working on equations, like how dad looks at mom when she's making pancakes. Trust me, I'm very observant about romance things." The next week, she orchestrated her master plan. Right before Conrad arrived, she accidentally left her favorite doll Bella in the living room, hair completely tangled. When Conrad walked in, Emily gasped dramatically. "Oh no, Bella's hair is such a mess. I have dance pictures tomorrow and she needs to look pretty." She looked at Conrad with huge puppy dog eyes. "Do you know how to braid?" Conrad immediately sat down on the floor. "I'm afraid I don't, but maybe your sister could teach me. I'd love to help." Emily clapped her hands. "Perfect. This is very important life skills." She even handed Conrad a tiny pink hairbrush from her backpack like it was an emergency surgery kit. So there I was, sitting cross-legged behind Conrad on our living room carpet, showing him how to section Bella's synthetic hair while Emily supervised like a tiny drill sergeant. "You have to be gentle but firm," I explained, placing my hands over his to guide the movements. Like this. His hands were warm and surprisingly steady. I could smell his cologne and feel him lean back slightly as he concentrated. "Tighter on that piece," Emily instructed, "but not too tight. You don't want to hurt her." "Am I doing it right?" Conrad asked, turning his head slightly. We were suddenly very close. "Yeah," I managed. "Really good," Emily beamed. "See? Natural dad instincts. You're gonna be great at this marriage thing." We both blushed furiously while Emily continued her commentary. "My friend Sarah's dad can't even brush her hair without making her cry. But you're being so careful. That's how you know someone's gonna be a good husband." When we finished the braid, Emily declared it absolutely perfect and announced she was going to show mom before skipping out of the room. Conrad was still holding the doll, looking slightly dazed. "So," he said quietly, "about what your sister said, the looking at you funny part?" My heart started racing. Emily has a very active imagination. "Does she though?" He set Bella down carefully. "Because I've been trying to figure out how to ask you out for weeks, but I didn't want to make study sessions weird if you said no." I stared at him. "Really?" "Because every time you tuck your hair behind your ear while reading, I forget what ionic bonding even means." "Your 8-year-old sister is apparently more observant than both of us combined," Conrad said. Emily's voice carried from the kitchen, "I told you so." We both started laughing. Our first official date was the next Friday. Emily insisted on helping me pick out my outfit and gave Conrad a very serious talk about treating her sister right before we left. 1 year later, when Conrad proposed, Emily immediately started planning the wedding. "I want to be the flower girl and the maid of honor," she announced. This was basically my idea anyway. At our wedding last spring, Emily's speech was about how she always knew we belonged together and how she was basically Cupid but cuter. She still takes full credit for our entire relationship, and honestly, she deserves it.